I'm Jed, this is Cook Culture. So today I wanted to change gears a bit. I'm not talking about gear, I'm not talking about blenders or knives or pans. I put the time into making this video. Wilson has given me his time graciously to share his story in hope that somehow this can help someone that you know. Because this is a lifestyle choice and this is what we do decide to eat, how we eat, when we eat, so on and so forth. So it's a really inspiring story. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, please throw them below and I'll see you at the end of our conversation. Hope you enjoy. Here is my friend, Dr. Kwong. He is so gracious to let me call him Wilson. So hello, Wilson.
Hello, Jed.
So I'm really excited to be talking to Wilson today about his health journey. And as I was just saying to you all, he's been on a really neat journey lately and I'm really inspired. So, thank you for meeting me today. Your journey has been really, really inspiring to me. And I would love to know more about, as we talked, many months ago now, when you were first kind of dealing with some things that were seeming to kind of scare you, what was that all about and, where are you at?
Well, number one, I love the fact that you used the word inspired because it's my business and I'm a dentist and I have 5 practices, a lab, an education portal. So I'm running around, I'm running. And part of this process of being an entrepreneur, being a professional, is time spent working and not really paying attention to the little things like, your health. Mm-hmm. And I had always been diagnosed with non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which is fatty liver.
So from a young age?
A young age, okay. At 25. And at 25, they told me I was overweight. I was 5'4", 130 pounds. I'm like, what? And that scared me at 25 when I graduated dental school. Right. And but I never had symptoms, and I kept it under control. And enzymes, the liver enzymes are fine. I attribute
so being a doctor, you pretty clearly understood what they were saying.
I understood exactly what they were saying. They're going lose some more weight. I'm like, I'm 130 pounds. My waist is 28 inches. Right. And what do you mean? I look good. I felt good. I was thin and I didn't really understand it. And I attribute it to me growing up in my dad's bakery, eating sugar all my life, eating pastries all my life. My dad was obese, who died with a stroke. Right. And thank you. And you kind of look at it and go, let's learn from your parents' mistakes. Yeah, we hope we do. And they make a lot, and we need to listen.
We won't get into my parents today, okay? I promise you.
Me neither. So my wake-up call at 57 was last year when they said, Wilson, you finally have diabetes. And I'm like, what do you mean? I've been controlling everything. Well, you've had weight gain, you've got your glucose levels are 9.8. And I'm like, what does that mean? Right? So I decided to do research. I bumped into Jed. I've been trying things like exercise, eating better. What does that mean, eating better? Trying to get sleep, mental health, all that. Okay, how do I do this? I don't have a coach. There's 1,000 roads to take. So Jed turned me on to this book called Mastering Diabetes. And I read it, audiobook, exercise, read it, drove, read it, sometimes with a patient, read it. And what I realized is I got to eat better. What do you eat? Whole foods, plant-based. Now, I want to be honest, I'm about 90% plant-based. I sometimes eat meat, but whenever I make dinner or lunch or breakfast, it's fruit, leafy green vegetables, fruit.
He texts me pictures of his food, so I can vouch for him. It looks fantastic.
Now here's the hard part, and this is reality. A lot of the foods that we think are vegetarian, even because I order food in, so they bring the food and I have to cook it. Right. That's a lot of people do that now, right? Well, guess what? The sauces that come with it make it taste really good, and then because I've got a glucose monitor here, I've been doing this since, I guess, June 1st.
With the monitor.
With a monitor, and it's expensive. because I don't have coverage for it because I'm not insulin dependent.
Right. Okay.
And so every time I ate something for the first month, I do this. Ding.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was fine.
Right.
You know, I eat something like salad roll.
Yeah. Well, you showed me the white rice the other day. Right?
Yeah.
It's just spike.
Right? Salad roll. Oh, that's healthy.
Right.
Well, it's got a rice wrap.
Yeah.
It's got rice vermicelli, which is from rice.
Yeah.
And then some lettuce
Yeah.
and carrots.
Right.
And it went bang. So I'm like, okay, I really got to watch what I do. So I have a very good idea now what will spike my glucose levels.
Right. So before you thought you were doing the right thing a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And now you're learning like, wow.
Exactly. So it's getting in time and range, right?
Right.
And staying as normal range as long as you can.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a little spike when you eat something. That's normal.
Yeah.
But it's getting to that training your body or retraining your body to be insulin sensitive again.
Right.
Because when you eat crap all day long, your body, for many, many scientific reasons, becomes insulin resistant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when your insulin just stays up there.
Right.
And insulin and glucose in your blood, not good.
Right.
So there, you don't have to read the book anymore. I just told you. I'm kidding. Read the book.
Yeah. Mastering Diabetes, easy to find online, and it's an amazing book. And the reason that I told Wilson about it is that I listen to their podcast. I follow them along. I've read the book. I don't have diabetes. I actually don't have anybody in my family that has diabetes, but I find it fascinating because it affects so many people. And so it was just really coincidental that, when Wilson said to me, he's like, oh man, like I've been diagnosed with diabetes, and he just seemed frustrated at the time. And I was just like, hey, this book, right? And it just came out. And that made sense to him because it's super, super simple. The approach in their book is like, you can eat all this amazing food, right? But you just follow these few simple rules, and it's not about cutting carbs, it's not about cutting this, it's about cutting out meat and dairy. They're very much plant-based advocates, but there are people that are eating tons of fruit that are diabetic.
Mangoes.
Yeah.
I eat mangoes and I go, it didn't do anything.
Right.
It's delicious.
Wild, eh?
Apples, oranges, avocado, which is kind of a yellow light food.
Yeah.
But as much leafy green, carrots, peppers.
Yeah.
Whatever you go on the outside part of the aisle in the vegetable areas, just buy that.
Yeah.
Don't buy anything processed. So no chips. If I want something crispy, I might, just go get some blueberries to munch on. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Chocolate, little bit of dark chocolate may be okay. But even with like maple syrup, which may or may not be real maple syrup. Yesterday I had a salad. Okay. It was a vegan dinner. Yeah. With some tofu and the dressing. I looked at the dressing after because I'm like, holy crap! I just went.
It shot it up.
Now the cool part is it shot up, but it came back down quickly. So that's telling me that something that I'm doing right now is getting me back to normal.
From what I understand is that the fiber content of your salad could have really or should have really helped with reducing your blood sugar.
Yeah, because the fiber takes longer to absorb. Yeah. But because it was a dressing, that dressing gets absorbed.
Right. It's like just drinking.
But if it's sweetness in a fruit because of the fiber, it takes a while for the body to get it out. Yeah. Even though it tastes sweet. Yeah. The stuff that's inside the fruit takes a while for it to get out, so your glucose and your insulin doesn't spike. Yeah. Because when your glucose spikes, your insulin's gonna spike. Yeah. That's just how your body works. Right. And having too much glucose or insulin for a long time in your body is not good for your organs. Yeah. Period. Yeah. And that's generally not healthy. Yeah.
Well, whatever goes towards like loss of limbs, loss of feeling. Glaucoma, is it where you start losing the eyesight?
Well, you have peripheral neuropathy. Yeah. The fingers, loss of feeling. Our arteries start to harden and narrow, which is not good for your limbs and other appendages that you may have on your body. True. Seriously. Yeah. That if that doesn't scare you, totally, it scares the hell out of me.
No doubt, right? Yeah, you want to keep it all working, right? But like for you specifically, right? Like this is where you make your living.
That's right. I gotta feel what's going on.
Absolutely, especially when you're in my mouth.
That's right. That's right.
So for anybody that's listening to this, your journey is so inspiring. Because we hadn't talked about it in a lot of detail, but I'm sure that you tried many things over time. And now coming towards more of a plant-based approach and really managing, with a glucose meter, which is tremendous, and really managing it, you really seem like you've got a hold of your lifestyle. You're looking fantastic.
Thank you.
You're always upbeat, right? But you're just looking great. You're looking slender. It's great to see it in relatively a short amount of time. I know people want quick wins and instantaneous return, but it's been a small amount of time that you seem to have gotten some really good return. What would you say to somebody who's, at the stage that you've been along, from 25 of your first diagnosis to now, like they could be at any stage along there. What would you want to say maybe to the younger Wilson?
To the younger Wilson who was diagnosed with NASH, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, fatty liver disease, with a genetic and familial history of diabetes, because my parents both had it, I would say the best thing to do is to get the science and understand it. So read a book, Mastering Diabetes, and understand the science. And I'm a doctor and I understand a lot of the science, but they broke it down and it's very easy to understand. The second thing to do, if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, is get one of these glucose monitoring.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
They're pricey, but they work well with your phone, and you get instant feedback.
Does it send you notifications?
It can.
Okay.
But you gotta, one day it'll just send you a notification. But right now you gotta activate it and do it. It takes 2 seconds. And then you go, I just had dinner and I had this, and it looks great. An hour later you do it again. An hour later, it's like, man, that glucose is stable. Or you eat something that causes it to go up like this. And you go, you know what? This is where I think I made a mistake. So it's that positive feedback, negative feedback, which really helped me and my mind go, okay, I gotta stick to the good stuff. We call it green light foods, leafy green vegetables, peppers, anything organic, fruits. You can eat as much as you want. But you know what's really funny? You don't overeat because you feel full. And the reason for that is we eat a certain amount of food, volume, and your body goes, okay, you're good.
Your stomach's getting full.
Your stomach feels full, and that's why. So get the tools to allow you to objectively see what you're doing and how it's affecting you. And if you do that enough, it'll change behavior, because it's really just behavior. I tried everything, but I couldn't get the results and I kept getting bigger and bigger. And then you give up. Because you're not getting the results you think. You put in the work, you're not getting the results, why bother doing it? Right? Why would anybody bother doing it?
So I guess what I'm hearing from you is that somebody that would be considering your type of journey, you think the glucose meter really helped you understand the nuances of the foods that you're eating that you thought were healthy before and you didn't think would give you any sort of problem, but you were amazed by how they were. Right.
I love rice. I grew up with rice. I grew up with rice gravy. I grew up with fried rice is my world. I worship rice. And it's the one thing that's going to kill me. So
what about brown rice? What about
I'm doing brown rice now, but everybody knows that if you're used to white rice, if you're Asian, you're used to white rice. There's a texture that you like, how it works with the food, oils, things like that. This glucose meter really tells you and gives you the feedback you're looking for, and then you begin to see the results because you're changing behavior. Because it's just behavior. If you change behavior and your actions follow, then you're going to get the result, which adds to your motivation, which makes you more inspired to do the next thing. I've lost 15 pounds in 2 months, and I know that's incredible. And I don't see the results because I didn't take a picture of myself.
I see it, obviously.
I'm trying to look as good as him. Really, that's my biggest motivation. But to be honest, I want to live a long, healthy life. I've got a good life to lead. I want to see my kids grow and their children and really enjoy every day. But I have a vision of enjoying every day later. And if you don't do what you need to do today, sorry, you got to plant the tree. If you want to have an apple tree 10 years from now, you got to plant it today because you're not going to get apples tomorrow. And that's the one thing you have to say to yourself is go, how important is this really? And it is. Everybody's answer is, it is very important. But behavior is hard to change. And this thing has really helped me personally. And the knowledge base and hanging out with Jed, and he's always kind of, hey, how you doing? Like, I'm gonna do better.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, when you were first on that way, like I could see you being like, okay, I'll get the book. Okay, you know, you committed to the book. You know, and then it's like, you're reading the book. It's like, yeah, I'm getting on it, right? And you know, and then I just saw you starting to get your own traction, and it was tremendous, right? Like, and I started, I was really impressed and proud and surprised in a way of how quickly, once you started digging into it, like I've always known that you're an A-type, so I'm not overly surprised.
Yeah.
But like, you know, once you got into it, it's just like, okay, he's got some motivation. He's just got some mojo. This is happening.
But you gotta see the results.
Right.
You gotta have the positive feedback. Otherwise, it's like you're treading water and you're not going anywhere, and you kind of go, well, why bother, right?
Right.
And the other thing that really gets you going, I told everybody I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I texted everybody, I'm going vegan, I'm going vegetarian, I'm gonna do this, and you know what? When you tell a lot of people what you're gonna do, you are now accountable to yourself in front of those people. So tell everybody. Don't do it secretly, because then you can fail and nobody will know. But if you fail, people around you may help you and go, hey, come on, you can do this. Let's go. You know, I have friends who are like, hey, I heard you went vegan. We're gonna go for dinner, and guess what? I'm gonna have a salad as well with a little bit of chicken. Right? Things like that, and I'm gonna have the salad dressing on the side.
That's awesome.
You know, I watch Netflix, of course, and many of you have, and you know, there's Seaspiracy and the vegan, The Secret or something. I can't remember. It's
and
these guys.
Over Knives was the original.
High performing athletes who are plant based.
Game changers.
Right, Game Changer. And it's August 2021. And we've got now saying the Earth is pretty much doomed. You know what? Be that one person that starts helping yourselves, helping others. And at the end of the day, what have you got to lose except maybe live a better and longer life? And
a few pounds.
And look better. Again, I'm still catching up.
So, you know, the dark side a little bit. So, you know, we don't, I think, expect people to be perfect, right? So, you know, I have my sins, and my sins is dark chocolate, right? You know, I just say that I sell it, but I reason we have it in the store so I can eat it.
Tax free.
So, you know, like, I think that we all need to find that right balance. You know, find a lifestyle that's working for you. You know, like, understand, like, you know, is it a couple of beers on a Friday night or whatever? But like, where are your sins? What are those couple of things that you're just like, you know, I may not give up this one thing.
No, I've decided I'm gonna give up a lot of things. But I think you also have to live a little bit, and you don't have to be 100% to get the results over time. I'm not talking about getting it in 6 months, but I'm talking about the rest of your life. And so rice is my thing, and I know that's bad, so I'm gonna go brown rice. I'm gonna get used to that, and it's gonna be fine. The other thing is fat.
Anything fat.
I loved my New York steak with the fat on it. But maybe instead of knowing what fat does, makes me go, oh, and maybe without killing yourself, have a little bit of it, and then put the rest away. Right? There's ways to do it, but just being aware and knowing will kind of keep you on the right track. It's not perfection, it's excellence, right?
Well, I think this has been fantastic. So, you know, I loved your story. I'm super proud of you. I'm proud of you as a friend. You know, seeing you grab control of your health, you know, at our age. Not many people do it the way in which you've done it. So I really wanted to share it, and I hope it's inspiring. You know, if anybody has any questions, they can get a hold of me. I can always find them from Wilson. He's a very, very busy guy. He's got a lot going on. But if there's any questions that people have, I can always get those for you. So you can put those in the comments below. And I really like to thank you for your time.
Thank you, and thank all of you for watching. Now I've got even more people to be accountable to.
Exactly. We're going to check in with them. Thanks. Okay, so my conversation with Wilson was awesome. Wilson is just such a great guy. Talking to somebody like Wilson, where he didn't have great habits and choices as a young man, and now he's at a point where he knows to save his own life, he has to make these choices to eat and live a better life, and he's doing it and he's loving it. So that's absolutely amazing. I know that anyone can do this. You know, if Wilson can do it with how busy he is, you know, and being a guy that grew up in a bakery, Anybody can get this done and improve their own life through diet choices, simple eating habits. It doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be expensive. Just one step at a time, day by day. So, thanks to Wilson for putting the time into it. I hope this has helped you in any way. And like I said before, leave me a question below and I'll get back to you. So thanks so much.